I am Bertha, your Black History Channel assistant. This is not a one-topic Black History channel. This channel is about Black history in a bite size. It aims to entertain, enlighten, and empower you by giving you a solid foundation on which to build your own Black history project. We will deliver our content via many mediums like animations, poetry, music, games, video, and books, including a companion website, and other useful websites. We see people not color, we see your heart, not your race, for sometimes while your worst enemy is lying on the bed with you, your best friend might be lying in the shed. There are many great contributors to Black history, past and present, who are of Caucasian origin. For them, it was, and still is about the truth, not color. To them we can truly attach the term luminous truth, for these brave men and women dead or alive, had everything to lose and nothing to gain in telling the truth when they did. All of them would be mentioned, along with their contributions. Hi, I am Quois from the San tribe of South Africa. We are the oldest living race alive. Welcome to Ramesses channel. Our first Black history lesson would begin by starting from Zambia and Garbin, Central Africa, from around 400,000 BCE.
Hi, I am the symbol of the ancient African divination system, that was used to build many ancient civilizations, like ancient Sumeria, Egypt, Greece, and Rome, including ancient Japan, India, and China. In addition, the computer you are staring at right now, or other data-driven devices, are my offspring. What a bold assertion! It shall be expanded upon in my next bulletin.
DJ Ramesses. It is time to flip the fiddling riddles of front fibs in front. The riddles in your fiddles and what the fuddle. Your fibs are fraught of flips and fling. The fuddles in your fiddles and what the riddles. The rhyme buster. You flip and fling your front of fibs that has things onto which to cling, which has no prospect of wearing a blink. It is time to flip the fiddling riddles of front fibs in front. With truncheon to bludgeon, and the spear of fear to spare. For Pope of the Third, innocent he is not. With his dictum of kill them all and all of them, the Lord will recognize his own when he's home alone. It is time to flip the fiddling riddles of front fibs in front. The rhyme buster. Pontificating and parabolating on a parting prance of peerless pangs. Bland of appetitory, perpetually persecuting purposeless puzzles of piffles. Pineal of our gland, especially sparse of silky power. Cluttering our crown with chronic cares, spinning our spirits to spineless spooks. The rhyme buster. Your erroneous history in mystery is cryptically risky. On the lips of roped Iscariot, the Judas Jettison, giggling and juggling like Jesuit Jake. The dithering dictators are dawdling in doctrinal doodles.
Hi, I am Quois. The Eurocentric timeline is based on radiochronological, archaeological, and paleoecological data after 5000 BCE. Anything before that is mostly speculations. However, sometimes there are exceptions, in that recently discovered and uncovered, man-made objects, artwork and artifacts, under sediments, rocks, and others, could be dated according to geological events pertaining to where they are found. Archaeologists in Zambia have uncovered evidence that early humans used paint for aesthetic purposes far earlier than previously thought. The team found pigments and paint grinding equipment believed to be between 350,000 and 400,000 years old. The oldest pigments previously found were 120,000 years old, and the oldest known paintings are just 35,000 years old. Over 300 fragments of pigment have now been found in a cave at Twin Rivers, near Lusaka, Zambia. Please watch my next bulletin.
Hi, I am Mufti Mahmud. Modern humans first arose about 200,000 years ago in Africa. When and how our lineage then dispersed has long proven controversial, but geneticists have suggested this exodus started between 40,000 and 70,000 years ago. The currently accepted theory is that the exodus from Africa traced Arabia's shores, rather than passing through its now arid interior. However, stone artifacts at least 100,000 years old from the Arabian desert, revealed in January 2011, hinted that modern humans might have begun our march across the globe earlier than once suspected. Now, more than 100 newly discovered sites in the Sultanate of Oman apparently confirm that modern humans left Africa through Arabia long before genetic evidence suggests. Oddly, these sites are located far inland, away from the coasts. After a decade of searching in southern Arabia for some clue that might help us understand early human expansion, at long last we've found the smoking gun of their exit from Africa, said lead researcher Geoffrey Rose, a Paleolithic archaeologist at the University of Birmingham in England. Please watch my next bulletin.
Hi, I am Miss Ethics. The first item in the list is 1. The full-length version of the poem The Riddle in Your Fiddle. 2. Ancient history pertaining to Zambia and Gabon, narrated by Quois. 3. Sacred poems from IFA Divination System. 4. Ancient history about South Africa, narrated by Quois. 5. Ancient Freemasonry principles, narrated by Sergeant Munbo. 6. Another sacred poems from IFA Divination System. 7. Ancient Sumerians, narrated by an Anunnaki.
The riddles in your fiddles aren't worth the fuddle. Your fibs are froth of flip and fling. The fuddle in your fiddles aren't worth the riddles. You flip and fling your froth of fibs, that has things unto which to cling, which have no prospects of wearing a blink. For Pope of the Third, innocent he is not, with his dictum of kill them all and all of them, the Lord will recognize his own, when he is home alone. The frightening freak, they found and flung, were fast and furious, sometimes superior. They were armed from head to heel, and hailed as heroes, in the hall of Paul. With truncheon to bludgeon, and the spear of fear to spare. For innocent he is not, Pope of the Third, with his blubber-bottomed baboons, of babbling bishops, battering down our bleeding broods, with Babel brutes. You taught, the doctrine of messing with our brain, to leave your mess in our crest. Pontificating and perambulating, on parting prance of peerless pangs. Gland, of our pituitary, perpetually persecuting purposeless puzzles of piffles. Pineal, of our gland, especially sparse, of superpower. Cluttering our crowns with your chronic chaos. Spinning our spirits into spineless spooks. The fuddle in your fiddles aren't worth the riddles, you flip your fibs on froth. Flipping and flinging of your fibs, has no ringing to bling. Your erroneous history, in mystery, is cryptically risky, on the lips of robed Iscariot, the Judas jettisoned. Jiggling and juggling like Jesuit Jake. Your dithering dictators, are dawdling, in the doctoring our doodles. We taught it all to one, to be all in one and one in all, that the truth, is the track, to traversing the stars. Centering the cycles of circles, crossing circumferences, distance calculating curriculum, conceived in African antiquity. The riddles in your fiddles aren't worth the fuddle. The ring on the disc, onto which you cling can't bling. Declaring to our noodle to clear your oodles, we are now at home in our dome. Our quest for the chest in their nest, has led to investment in the rest. We just will test the pests. It is time to flip, the fiddling riddles of fraud fibs in froth.
Hi, I am Quois. There are numerous Stone Age sites in the Middle Valley of the Aguau, Garbon, including the oldest known stone tools in Central Africa, discovered in the upper terrace of the Aguau at Alarmakora, Oslili and Peyrot 1992a, and estimated to date to around 400,000 BCE, in correlation with the Mid-Bruns climatic change, Janssen et al. 1986. Unfortunately, as is the case elsewhere in Central Africa, most sites are in river terraces or other stone lines, and therefore their stratigraphy is typically highly disturbed. Because of the strongly acidic soils, with pH generally 4 to 5, there are no bones or other organic remains to enable radiochronological dating. Only for sites dating from the past 5,000 years are detailed radiochronological, archaeological, and paleoecological data available. Please watch my next bulletin.
Had it been that all dead beings were buried in coffin, all trees in the forests would have gone into extinction. Cast divination for hundreds of beings were coming from the city of heaven to earth. Had it been that all dead beings were buried in coffin, all trees in the forests would have gone into extinction. Cast divination for struggle and strive were coming from heaven to earth. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Those that are destined to be exceedingly rich like Bill Gates, are not many. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Not all of us are destined to marry bankers' daughters and sons. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Not all of us are destined to be Olympic champions. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Not many rappers are destined to reach Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Drake, Jay-Z, and Warren G.'s height. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Not many celebrities are destined to be associated with the word luminous truth, like Quentin Tarantino and Jamie Foxx, who spoke out, despite having everything to lose and nothing to gain. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Those that are destined to be stupendously famous are not many. We are only struggling, all of us we are only striving. Please watch my next bulletin.
Archaeologists excavating the Blombos Cave in South Africa, have stumbled upon a hoard of art materials which include everything an ancient artist might have required to be creative. Including paint pots used by humans more than 100,000 years ago. Red and yellow pigments, shell containers, and grinding cobbles and bone spatulas, to mix up a paste. Were all present in the discovery that, researchers say, is proof that our early ancestors were more modern than once thought. The oldest man-made structure on Earth is in South Africa. It is known as Adam's Calendar, and more recently as Inki's Calendar. Adam's Calendar is southwest of Kruger Park. The site is estimated to be around 75,000 years old, as dated by rock art in the area. They also found red ochre stones which were engraved with what must be total tallying marks. One of two such stones recently found in the Blombos Cave in South Africa is about 77,000 years old, making them the oldest form of recorded counting ever found. Please watch my next bulletin.
Hi, I am Sergeant Munbo. My mission is to take the piffling narratives of Jumbo that is being perpetuated about modern-day Freemasons, and replace it with the original Munbo. At the outset, one cannot talk about the origin of Freemasonry, the discussion must focus on the evolution of the system and the unique, original ancient African, Kemetic, or Egyptian way of life. The word free means without hindrance, the word mason refers to one who builds, a bricklayer. As such, Freemasonry is that system, craft, or art of building, not a physical building but building spiritual, an edifice within the human being. The ancient Kemites, Africans, or Egyptians refer to this spiritual concept as the temple in man. So what does Freemasonry mean? It is a system of morality and spiritual advancement. It is a science which is engaged in divine truth and employs symbolism as its method of instruction. It seeks to erect the human society based on the principles of truth, justice, and morality. Freemasonry means that before a person can become a Freemason, he must first be a freeman. A slave cannot be a Mason. Such a person must not be a slave to lust and avarice. Such a person must not be a slave to chaos, conflict, or confusion. Freemasonry deals with spiritual liberation, not physical emancipation. Freemasonry deals with balance, order, and justice in everyday life and human interaction. It is a way of life 24 hours, 7-day week and 365 days a year. It is a system of morality that is veiled or shrouded in allegory and illustrated by symbols. Please watch my next bulletin. The ancient African divination system of IFA exhort us to be honest. The people who control our world today are too insincere. They said conviction politicians on earth, number less than 100, but the number of career politician is over millions. They said ethical CEO on earth, number less than 5, but the number of unethical ones is over 50,000. The deities forbids us from compromising the truth. Cast divination for Urunmila on the day he would be saddened by all compelling incidents. They were asked to offer sacrifice so that there would be many upright people in the world. They did, and thereafter many conviction politicians and ethical CEOs began to appear on earth. And life was sweet for all human beings. If only. Whatever one feels sad about should be one's point of persistent reference. If it is the fortune of wealth that saddens us, let it sadden our destiny so that we get to accumulate wealth. Whatever one feels sad about is one's point of persistent reference. If it is the fortune of children that saddens us, let it sadden our destiny so that we get to have children. Whatever one feels sad about is one's point of persistent reference. If it is the fortune of houses that saddens us, let it sadden our destiny so that we get to build good houses. Whatever one feels sad about is one's point of persistent reference. If it is the fortune of good health that saddens us, let it sadden our destiny so that we get to have good health. Whatever one feels sad about is one's point of persistent reference. If it is the fortune of good partner that saddens us, let it sadden our destiny so that we get to have a good partner. All the good fortunes that saddens us in the world, let it sadden our destiny so that we get obtain good tidings. All the things one feels sad about is one's point of persistent reference. Please watch my next bulletin. Hi, I am one of the Anunnaki from Gilgamesh Epics. A new book, yet be released, by Hermel Hermstein titled Black Sumer, An African Origin of Civilization, has broken the deadlock surrounding Africa's contribution to Sumerian civilization by advancing a West Africa mother tongue for Sumerians. Anchored on the linguistic argument that the ancient Sumerians who midwifed the Babylonian, Assyrian, and Mesopotamian civilizations that later sprung up in the Middle East, spoke the Niger-Congo language of ancient Nigeria and Cameroon. Proto-Niger-Congo civilizations has been estimated to date back to between 8,500 and 11,000 BCE. Please watch my next bulletin.